Well, as we well know, everyone needs a Fabian Schar. However, Newcastle will have to make do without him for the next two games due to suspension. So what is Eddie Howe to do? Hello there, team. Welcome back along to Newcastle Fans TV. It's been a very, very positive festive period for us, has it not? And we're kind of rounding off this period now with two big games, both in North London. Spurs on Saturday, and Arsenal, of course, in the first leg of the semi-final of the Carabao Cup on Tuesday. Tottenham are missing a lot of players, and Ange Postecoglou said in his presser today that a virus is sweeping the Tottenham camp also. So they have many, many problems. However, this game isn't one to get complacent, and we're missing Fabian Schar, as I mentioned there, through suspension in both the Premier League and the Carabao Cup. So 2 games without Schar. So what do we do? As we know, his normal stand-ins, Jamal Lascelles, club captain, missing through long-term injury. Emil Kraft still on the comeback trail from his broken collarbone. So what do we do? What does Eddie Howe do, more importantly? For me, there are 3 sort of options for him. First of all, I kind of need to rule out there's no real right-sided centre-back staking a claim from the academy at the moment. Alex Murphy has been the only one in and around the first team setup, but he's very much left-sided, so I don't think Howe would be in the business of chucking him in for these 2 crucial games. The 3 options for me are as follows. But first, don't forget to smash that like button, and always do catch up on the fantastic videos we've had over the festive period. The match day coverage has been a lot of fun, particularly the other night at Old Trafford. That was an honour and a pleasure to have been there that night. But option number 1 is the kind of most obvious one you would think, and that's Lloyd Kelly. Brought in on a free this summer, of course, from Bournemouth, and essentially more or less a straight swap, sort of, for Paul Dummett in that squad role. Was dovetailing left back duties with Lewis Hall earlier this season, as Dan Burn has been a mainstay in that left centre back role, and broadly, barring 1 or 2 poor performances at the likes of Fulham and whatnot, he's been immense, absolutely immense, particularly around the last 4 or 5 games. Burn has been phenomenal. So credit to him, and he just continues to show why he was signed in the first place and how much it means to him to pull on that black and white shirt every time he does. So, yeah, Lloyd Kelly could come in. Yes, he's a left-sided centre-back, but, you know, he's not an academy kid coming through. He's a proper senior professional, and, you know, shouldn't have any real issues in slotting into that centre of defence. He's had a mixed time of things. On the whole, he's done all right, to be fair. The last time we played Spurs, Kelly played left-back, got an assist for Harvey Barnes, if you remember, that day, and played well. Centre-back, he was very, very good in the Cup against Chelsea. As some workmen depart in their van. Look at that. Live scenes here in the rural Staffordshire area. Yeah, on the whole, he's done all right. 1 or 2 misdemeanours here and there, but on the whole, he's been fine. He was a free transfer. Let's not get carried away. Yes, we're on the hunt for a new centre-half down that side. Of course, so we should be. It's one area of the squad that has not yet had any investment since the takeover. Kusanov from Lens seems to be the one of choice at the moment, young centre-back from Uzbekistan. A lot of noise being generated by his agent at the moment, Jorge Mendes, which has gone from him to being linked with the likes of Leeds United to now ourselves and Manchester City even. That is very much agent-driven, it has to be said. Yes, he's playing regular games for Lens in League 1 at the moment. Is he ready to sink his teeth into the Premier League? I'm a bit sceptical, I have to be honest. But could he come in and do a job, fill in here and there, learn to... I mean, Howe never rushes his new signings into the team anyway. Could he come in later this month, fill in for Schar and be the long-term successor? Potentially, absolutely. For me, there are better options out there, but, you know, time will tell. So Lloyd Kelly is your most obvious one. Option B, the most exciting one by far, would be to take the Rolls Royce out the garage. If it's past its MOT, then it's about time he got took for a spin. Of course, despite the horrific mechanical metaphor there, you know full well I'm talking about Sven Botman. Is available for selection. I confirmed that in his press conference this morning. In fact, he would have been the game previous, but he was brought down with the bug that put Tino Livramento out for the game against Villa. Look, what can you say about Sven Botman? World-class centre-back. If he retains his ability, obviously he's coming off the back of a very, very serious injury, an ACL. It can go one or two ways, but they've been patient with him. They've done everything right, despite the treatment he received initially, and he was playing on with this ACL for way longer than was necessary. But look, the form of Dan Burn has allowed him to recuperate and rehab and not need to rush. But things are becoming a bit more pressing. You have to kind of look ahead, although Howe is of the mantra one game at a time, but you do have to kind of take note that we've got 2 huge games in 3 days. So could you chuck Botman in at Spurs and expect him to play against Arsenal as well? Probably not, and you wouldn't really want to at this stage. You'd get flashbacks of Florian Lejeune under Steve Bruce, which was just a nightmare and ultimately put pay to Lejeune's Newcastle career. Wrongly, in my opinion. But could you maybe play Kelly at Spurs? Could you potentially then get an hour out of Botman at Arsenal? Who knows? Could you get 45 minutes out of Botman on Saturday and 60 on Tuesday? Only Howe and his medical team will know that. But Botman is an option. And it's great to see him being an option as well, because as we know, he's just an absolute Rolls Royce of a centre-back, and would certainly aid the distribution factor that we'll lose with Fabian Schar. And speaking of distribution, option C, and obviously it's not just Scher's defensive capabilities we're missing, it is that the long-range passing, the distribution, as I say. And that's why Kieran Trippier is an option. It's an option I don't like at centre-back. However, it's an option. You have to recognise that as an option, whether Howe goes for it or not. I doubt it, but it's an option. Trippier has that kind of passing ability, long-range passing ability, to kind of be able to spread the play a la Schar, and Botman can do that with aplomb as well. And then it's an easy switch with Livramento to come back in at right-back. I think this is a game for Livramento at right-back anyway, to be brutally honest. A bit more quicker than Trips. Obviously, Trips has the footballing brain to compensate for that. But yeah, last season at Spurs didn't go wholly well, did it? So it would be Livramento for me at right-back, which could open up a slot for Trips at centre-half. Just for this one game, I would not be putting Trippier at centre-back for Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, where, of course, we're missing Bruno as well. So we need to be going there, keeping it tight at the Emirates on Tuesday night. But Spurs are there to be got at. I think it's a game that will be dominated by the attacks. And if we can cope without Schar for this one, we should hopefully pick up 3 points and take advantage of their injury situation. They're missing so many players, you just cannot keep up. Of course, their defence is so low on confidence. Their goalkeeper, Fraser Forster, formerly one of our own, of course, is really low on confidence as well. And that has to be exploited. So get your thoughts in the comments. Get your predictions in for the comments. How excited are you for Sven Botman to be back amongst the players on the pitch? About time. He came through 45 minutes for the under-21s against Chelsea. He did really well. And I'm excited to see him back. This guy is just silk and just makes everything look so easy. So if he retains any of that ability, then we can really push on this second half of the season and kind of turn up that defensive solidity once more. I mean, it's been pretty solid the last 4 games as well, hasn't it? But Spurs' attack is potent, and that has to be recognised. You know, Son, Kulusevski, Brennan Johnson, James Maddison can all be a pain in the backside at times. So whilst their defence and maybe their midfield as well as weakened somewhat, their attack very much isn't. So, but we can go there full of confidence. If you're travelling down, please do be safe. There's some horrendous weather around this weekend. Like and subscribe, as always, to Newcastle Fans TV, and stay tuned.